Hello everybody, my name is Paul Lynn. This is a video unlike most of what I've done in the past and something that I've been dying to get into doing for the last few years, but really just didn't know how to create the content or what to, how to present it. And now I've kind of just decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do a brain dump on YouTube, put all of this stuff that I've been wanting to create out there, and I'll figure out what to do with it later. But I want to do some videos on living well, living successfully, being fulfilled, okay? This is maybe a little bit esoteric for some people, maybe a little too philosophical for others, but for some people, you're kind of really focused on your own well-being, happiness. You don't just want to survive through life. You really want to feel good. You want to love the person in the mirror, okay? So we're not going to get into a bunch of hippie stuff. There's not going to be meditation and drum circles and hallucinations. No, none of that wackiness. This is really just philosophy and psychology, okay? How do you live well? How do you enjoy life? How do you, take charge of your area of the world and build it into the image of what you want, right? What I want to talk about today, and this is a huge one that I see so many people are struggling with this because they can't grasp what I'm about to share with you, and it causes them so much stress, grief, anxiety that it's like they're always at war and they're never really focused on anything good in life, okay? How do we coexist with people who have fundamental differences in opinion and belief and politics and philosophy, different value systems than us, right? I'm a good one to take a cue from just because I'm a very, very judgmental person. In fact, I am from the United States, but I live in Bolivia. I've lived here for 11 years. And to tell a secret, I hate the culture. Not all of it, but a lot of the culture of the people that I see around me. I have perceptions of it that I disagree with on a very personal level. And it's offensive to me just to see it, even when it doesn't affect me. On top of that, I'm also a very religious person. So chances are, if I meet 100 people today, 100 of them will have a different religion than me because I don't have a mainstream religion. I'm not a Christian. I am not a Muslim. I am not a Jew. I am not, anything that you can probably whip up a name for and say, this is what it is. People ask me what the name of my religion is, and I'm like, hell, I don't even know if there is one, okay? So I'm kind of a very fringe element. And you can imagine, I don't agree religiously with anybody that I know pretty much, all right? So how does a person like me get along with the rest of the world? Because I have to. I interact with probably 20, 30 different people most days, all right? Here's the philosophy. This is my philosophy. This is what makes me what I consider to be highly successful in that area in particular. I take responsibility for my house. The people that live in my house are my responsibility. And that's really just my wife and myself. My dog as well, but I'm a lot more flexible with him. But my wife is my wife because she and I agree on most things. And it's not like I say, well, I'm the king of my castle. If you're going to live here, you have to do things my way. That's the way it is, but I didn't want to marry somebody who I was planning on dominating with rules. I chose to marry somebody who already followed the same rules that I do. so that there wouldn't be any of this. There would just be a lot of this, We agree. I believe this, do you? Yeah, that's me as well. Wow, let's do this thing, But in my house, that's my responsibility. And my religious convictions, my personal convictions, the place for them is in my house. And in my house, my law is the law of the house. If somebody's coming to visit me and they're wearing a cross necklace, the rule is you take that off and you hang it on the doorknob outside before you come in. There's not a cross allowed inside of my house. If somebody's, walking up eating a ham sandwich, check that ham at the door. You can hang it outside and you can come in, but that ham, that's not coming in my house. All right? I'm not trying to get into my religion. That's not what we're talking about today. But I'm just saying, in my house, that's the place for my expression and my manifestation and my imposition of my values. People ask me things like, but what do you think about, like, what are the hot topic items, gay marriage and abortion and, all of these other things that when they find out that, I'm religious and that I, follow the Bible, they ask me about these things and I say, you honestly want to know my opinion? And I say, it's great for you guys. You guys should do it all you want. What? You support those things? For you, yes. Because you are not my house. You are not my people. It doesn't matter that we were born in the same country. We're not the same people anymore. My people are the people that I'm responsible for, that I have fellowship with, that believe the way I do, that have the same God as I do, that have the same, judgment of things that I do. Those are my people. And we agree on these things. And for us, most of these things are taboo. They don't happen. They're prohibited. We don't do these things. But when you're asking me what I think about what the rest of the world does, why the hell would I care what the rest of the world does? I'm not the boss of the rest of the world. I'm not responsible for the rest of the world. I'm not a part of the rest of the world. So, talking to you, I don't know what your religion is. I don't care. I don't know if I would agree with your lifestyle, and I don't care. If you tell me about your lifestyle and it's completely diametrically opposed to everything that I value and stand for and believe in, I don't care. If you treat me well, I'm going to treat you well. If you want us to work together and we have the same objectives and goals and we have the same work ethic, I can work with you and we'll get along famously. And anything else that you're doing or you believe, or I don't care. Okay? I have no impetus to go out and try to change the world. I don't want to even change your mind. I'm not trying to sell my philosophies or my beliefs or my religion or anything else. If somebody comes looking for it and asks me and knocks on the door and says, "Hey, Paul, tell me about your God." Okay, we're about to get into a conversation. But it's not going to be because I came and knocked on your door. It's not for sale. It's freely given if someone is looking for it, but it's not for sale. Okay? So do you see where I'm going with this? By detaching myself and maintaining that level of separation between me and everybody else, it really just comes down to respect and treatment. I don't care if you're on the left or if you're on the right. I don't care if you're rich or poor, if you have a different God or 100 gods, or if you pray to a spaghetti monster, Or if you're an atheist, it's irrelevant to me. If you treat me well, I'm going to treat you well, and we're going to get along great. The second you come and start misrespecting me or kick my dog, we're going to get in a fight, and I fight dirty. So unless you're just real good, I'm probably going to win. Yeah, as long as we're treating each other well, what does it really matter what we believe and how we conduct ourselves in our houses and what we think is real and what we think is a lie? And does it matter? Do we have to believe the same things and feel the same way in order to get along? No. Is there any reason that I should be out trying to conquer everybody around me and dominate them with my philosophy and my beliefs? And if you don't believe the same way I do, you're stupid. And if you're not worshiping the same way I do, then it's because you're a heretic. And you're, seriously? You are not my concern. I've got enough right here to worry about without me ever having time to worry about you. I've got my wife to worry about. I've got my dog to worry about. I've got to protect them, provide for them, make them happy, make sure that they're enjoying life, that they're both fulfilled. I got a full-time job in my own house. The last thing in the world I care to do is to go out into the world and try to force it to conform to my own value system and my own beliefs. 1, it's impossible. 2, it's futile. 3, honestly, it's better for me that everyone around me has different beliefs and different feelings, and because mine make me successful, they make me happy. And there's a saying that goes, it's better to reign in hell than to serve in heaven. Well, in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like I'm reigning in hell because I'm the happiest person I know. I'm the most successful person I know. I'm not talking about money when I talk about success. I'm talking about I have the life that I want, and I spend my time doing exactly what I want. All of my passions and curiosities and interests, I get to fulfill on a daily basis. I study. I built a studio so that I can record all my silly videos in and do my photography. Whatever I feel like, I have the freedom to just go and do it. And one of my passions is obviously trying to do things to help other people. So, I don't know anybody who gets to spend all their time doing what they want. I don't know anybody who has a happier marriage than mine. We've been together 13 years and, she has her life, I have my life, we have our life together, and we're both happy. Neither one of us has any unfulfilled wants and dreams. We can both really just do everything we want. It's amazing. So, the fact that everybody else in the world kind of disagrees with me, great, more for me. Sounds selfish, but it's not like I don't offer. It's not like I don't, volunteer help when it's asked. I don't have any reason to be out conquering, okay? I don't need to dominate the world with my way of thinking or believing or behaving. Honestly, I don't. If they treat me well, I don't care what they believe or, who they love or who they're in a relationship with or who their parents are or how much money they've got in the bank. I don't care. They treat me well, I treat them well. They don't treat me well, I can be a real dick. Okay? So that's it. That's the whole philosophy. To be happy, to get along with all these people in the world that have these fundamental differences, just don't try to change them. In most cases, it's not even in your interest to change them. Just treat them well as much as they treat you well. And if they don't treat you well, don't be around them. Go be around somebody else. Don't be where you're not wanted. but don't try to impose. If you think you've got something good in here and in here, you've got a religion, you've got a philosophy, you've got a lifestyle, you know what? Volunteer it, share it. Don't hide it. Be willing to offer it to someone that it might benefit and somebody that might be looking for it. But when they don't want it and when they decide it's not for them, don't allow yourself to be offended by that. Don't take that as a judgment or an attack on you. Take it as we're all different. And what works for you is not for everybody else. What works for me is not for everybody else. This video I'm making in case it might be for you and in case you might be looking for it. Am I ever going to come knocking on your door and try to force you to accept this? It's not my game. That's it. That's what I got for you. Just trying to make your life a little bit better and make the world a bit of a better place. If you like what I'm doing, I wouldn't mind it if you subscribed. It'll help you see more of this in the future. Other than that, take care. Cheers.